Good morning. Just coming on to do a short video because I've been doing a little bit of writing this morning before my first client because of something that I saw this morning, and that was the subject of overthinking. The overthinking mind. Now, based on what I actually do as a job, this is the angle that I'm coming at it from, because I am an overthinker, but I believe I'm an overthinker in a positive way, and that's why I want to talk about it. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? But if you're already thinking about whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, are you overthinking? You see, in some respects, I'm looking down because I've actually made notes to remind myself of what I want to say today. In some respects, it's actually not a bad thing. So what does overthinking mean to you? Overthinking. Thinking about something over and over again. If you say I'm thinking about something over and over again, does it have the same connotations to your mind that you're doing something wrong? Because I would say, actually, no. And this is about how we perceive the beliefs behind the words that we speak. So when we say, I'm overthinking, we believe we're doing something wrong because we're thinking about something over and over and over again. Now, that's not a bad thing if when you reach a conclusion by overthinking, you have a better answer in your mind about whatever that subject is that you're overthinking about, that you're thinking about over and over again. But if you're constantly going around the same hamster wheel of thinking about that thought but not finding a solution or a conclusion, excuse me, I've got a little bit of a tickly throat this morning, maybe because it's snowing and it's colder. So if you are thinking about that thought and you're never reaching a conclusion or an answer or a solution, then maybe that's not a positive thing. Or is it? Because if it brings you to a place of a feeling that you need help and support to try to get past that thought, and that's what I'm trying to do right now by giving you this snippet of information, then it's guiding you towards a solution. You see, the subconscious mind is like a computer. And we spent so many years just writing the same stories and fixing it in that computer that we then believe that that's who we are. And equally, saying, I overthink things, I am an overthinker, you are creating programs that create more of the same. So what if you said, I think things over and over? Or I am thinking about the same thing over and over. There's less power to drive you to a place of feeling like you're doing something wrong. If you think about it that way, pun on think, then if you keep saying, I am an overthinker, I overthink. Because every time you say I am, and you add on the end of that sentence, you are creating another, you're sparking up, firing up another neural pathway that just adds to the bigger picture. and creates a story for your egoic mind, your subconscious, to believe that's who you are. So what if you believed you weren't doing anything wrong? What if you could allow yourself space to just believe that you're just doing something that everyone else does? Because I don't believe that there is a single person on this planet that hasn't overthinked or overthought anything in their lives. We've all gone through them processes. I was quite a big overthinker. And I still overthink, or I think about things over and over and over again. But always from a perspective of trying to find a solution, to change my mind, to change my thoughts. Don't always get it right. And then I could go into overthinking that I've done it wrong again, but I don't. Because I know that through every thought that I think, I'm gifting myself the ability to choose differently. So you could choose to overthink something positive, to think about it over and over and over again. And remember, every time you think about it again, you are firing and wiring another neural pathway in your brain. So you are compounding that thought within your brain and putting it in that library that I talk about, that library that holds all of your information, all of your experiences, all of your emotions, all of these things is in that library. So equally, when you're thinking over and over and over again about something that makes you feel not so good, then you are equally firing up another neural pathway and placing it in that library. So every time you want to think about something and it triggers a memory of a particular situation, what if is going to work out like that again? What if I don't get it right? What if my life falls apart and I can't control it? What if I can't control anything? And those thoughts, those what ifs, are seeking out a memory that you can fire and wire all over again in your subconscious mind, in your belief system. But a what if is a question. What if you could change that? What if you realised that you are the driver in your own car? You are the one that's choosing. So what if you could choose differently? So just for today, just for this moment, I want you to become aware of what your next thought is and what thought comes after that. That's called being present. That's about being in the now, noticing. And I want you to remember one word, and that's change. And then I want you to make a decision to look for something in your life, some moment, some experience, some thought, or even what's happening right here and now for you. And pull that memory back, that positive memory. So for instance, I'm sat here and I'm looking at my little Rosie, my dog, on the floor, looking at me. And I can pull back a memory of how much I love her, how much happiness she brings me. Just by looking at me now, because I've looked at her, she's thinking, can I get closer to me, Mum? No, Rosie, because I'm upstairs at the minute. So she comes and she lets me have a tickle. She lets me stroke her. She lets me, you know, and in that present moment, I can think about how soft her fur feels, how nice it is to have her near me, how warm she is, and how contented she makes me feel. And that's been present. I could talk a lot more about this subject because it interests me. Because I have tools that I can use for myself, but also that I use with my clients to change those overthinking thoughts. You are not a, now I have to think of the word. You are an amazing piece of computer equipment. And when you remember that and you recognize that, think of yourself as a car. You get to choose whether you put unleaded in an unleaded car or diesel in an unleaded car. And if you put diesel in an unleaded car, look what happens. But if you choose wisely and you put unleaded petrol in your unleaded car, then you can run for miles and miles. Think about what fuel you're putting in your mind, what you're putting in your car. But not to judge yourself, because that's a whole nother program that you'll create. But to be able to ask the question, what if? What if I could change that thought? What if I could, just for a moment, believe that my overthinking is just me thinking about something over and over again, and I can choose to think about something different, something better, something that makes my heart sing over and over again. I hope you enjoy the snow today. I could overthink the fact that I've got to go out driving in it, and through a past experience, the overthinking mind would tell me to be careful. But I won't let that stop me, because I know that I've driven many, many, many times since that experience, and I'm safe and I'm capable. Sending lots of love today.